So this is what I've been faced with. I've just come to install an extra socket and a light in a client's garage. See the tar leaking out the bottom, and I've isolated the supply. Oh. And I was getting a really high ZE. At 1.33. I even did it on the actual TNS clamp there, just to see if it was the dodgy cable. Unlikely, but 1.26. So there's an issue there inside that service head. Something's breaking down. From experience, I'll probably just come and replace the head because it's very, very old. But there is a dodgy or bad connection there. So I shall ring 105 now and notify them. Hopefully they'll be out within the hour. Right, so I've just rang 105 National Grid to let them know, and I told them what I'm there. They've told them, I've given them all my details, the client details. I told them I'm here for a few hours, so I told them that the clients are elderly, so they put them on a priority list for someone to attend. I've told them the earth reading. I've told them the tar leaking and seeping out of the cutout. And I told them that I've isolated the supply because I'm not happy to keep it energized. And I'll just go in now and I'll let the clients know I've rang on their behalf. I'll carry on doing my work because whilst I can't guarantee me someone getting here within an hour, I just won't connect up my work until they've come and had a look. I mean, from my experience, it's going to be a new cutout. I know that'll sort the issue 9 times out of 10. So yeah, so I'm here just to fit an extra socket and an extra light in their garage. And they've got like a really old consumer unit in the garage, which I'm not going to replace. There's no need to. The test results were absolutely fine. And there was an RCD upstream of the old board. I'll make sure there's no obvious IP issues, but all the test results have come back fine. It's just that ZE reading. So I'm going to carry on smashing up the sockets and lights. I've got a little bit of conduit stuff to do in the garage as well, and hopefully by then the DNO will turn up. They'll sort out their service head, or I'll probably just replace it, and then I'll redo my tests, and I'll be happy to then reconnect or connect up the new stuff, the alterations that I've made, and be able to issue a minor work certificate. And I'll probably detail a few of the issues that I've spotted in the installation as well. Right, I'm all done. It's about 11 o'clock, so I've been here a couple of hours. Like I said, I only had to add a socket and a couple of lights in the garage. National Grid turned up an hour later, so they were here at 10:15. I rang at 9:15 and they're here at 10:15. So what they're doing now, I'm not going to film them, they're obviously busy working, but when they go, I'll show you what they've done. They have basically, they bodged in a TNCS for now. Because it's a 3-phase head, they have to book it in. So they've made it safe for today. So they temporarily made it a TNCS, and they're booking in with the client to come back to replace the head. Because it's quite a small cupboard, that's what they're saying, is that for safety, they've got to make the cable dead in the street to replace it, because there's lack of adequate space to replace the service head under that cupboard. So they're going to rebook it in, hopefully. So I'll get my test out once they go, make sure it's all hunky-dory so I can do my bit. And I'll probably come back, to be fair, when they do change the header, and just do a quick retest. It's only down the road for me, it's like 10 minutes, so I'll whip in one night on the way back from work. So, National Grid are all done. Cheeky sods, they had to use my meter because their meter was in the other van. Anyway, I have retested it, or they retested it with my meter, and it's 0.17, as you can see. So what they've done, they put a new seal on, thank you. They've temporarily, see that, the braiding? They've temporarily made it a TNCS, and they put a connection, I'm not actually sure what's in there, connection onto the 16mm, they've cut that off, They've tried to clean it up as best they can, and New Earth, well, sorry, not New Earth, sorry, connect it onto the existing 16mm. And like I said, they booked it in because of this cupboard. They've said due to the access, they're actually going to dig up the road, cut the cable so they can safely work on this and replace this completely, but they've got to book it in with the client. It was just a call out team, you know, the fault team came out to do this, and so now they passed it on to the upgrade team, and they'll come, the digging team come and dig up the road and then kill it, replace this with a new one, and then obviously fill in the street. But that's the temporary measure, so at least they're safe and they have earth for now. So I can do my bit. I'll carry on doing my testing, do my ZE, R1R2. I think it was, the circuit I'm working on is a central heating circuit, which is a radial, and it goes to the central heating fuse spur and then out to the garage into a little mini subboard, and then off there it's a 15 amp fuse and a 5 amp fuse to the lights and sockets. I'm not bothering to replace the consumer unit in the garage. I feel it's unnecessary. It's got an RCD upstream. Admittedly, it's type AC, but we're only adding a socket and a light. I don't feel it's warrants, you know, changing this to a type A or even changing the board up there. I don't want to have two RCDs in series. Some people do that. I think that's absolutely bonkers. There's an RCD upstream, so I'm going to test this RCD. R1R2 this circuit here, and hopefully all will be right. Let me just, so the supply is isolated. I'll just show you now. 2 lead high, disconnected the main earth. It was 0.17 when I did it. There you go, 0.20, 1.15 kA amps. That's fantastic. So I'll reconnect the earth, and I shall take this out and do an R1R2 now on this. But yeah, that's how it's been left. So my bit in here has been done. New socket, metal clips. I was replacing the light switch, but I thought I'd just do an offcut of conduit just to neaten it up with a metal saddle, just because I think garages, it looks better, you know. Same here, a bit of conduit down the wall, socket, replace that socket. New light, stuff and ground on the top. Same on I replaced that light there. I've replaced them, they had the old 4 foots, and now hopefully, you know, they're new LED 4-foot tubes. I got these so that the client can replace them when they go faulty rather than all the built-in ones. I don't like it, this throwaway society. I much prefer something that's serviceable and you can maintain. You know, the client hasn't got to ring an electrician to replace it. And then this is the board. So that main consumer unit under the stairs feeds here, 16 amp fuse feeds here with a 61008 RCD. And then it's the lights and sockets in here. So I'm not replacing this, I've got lights in the sockets. Obviously, in an ideal world, I'd love to. But the test results come back absolutely fine. It tests out, all the results are good. Just because it's old, it doesn't necessarily need its replacing. It's got an RCD upstream and an MCB upstream, but you know, they're still in the regs, these fuses. The tests come out absolutely fine to do for the lights and the sockets I replaced. R1R2 installation resistance. It's got an RCD upstream, no problems. You know, for just adding, for adding an extra socket and 2 lights. I replaced these just because I was here and they were pretty poor quality. The Bakelite stuff had been smashed, so yeah. I'm all done. Western Power booked to come back in. And jobs are good. Just come to add an extra two lights and a socket, and it turns out to be a cool out. Doesn't happen that often, but National Grid done really well out within the hour. So there we go. Right, I'm all packed up. I'm glad I stayed. I could have just gone. It's not my responsibility. I could have just done my work and then just driven off, but I wanted to see it through. You know what I mean? The clients, the clients are elderly, the pensioners, and I thought it was more professional to see it through, make sure it's all hunky-dory before I leave. I'd only have to come back anyway. If I left, I'd only have to come back because I wouldn't have connected up my work unless it was safe to do so. So it's all connected up now and all on and working because it's now safe. So yeah, I'm glad I stayed. I don't know what you guys do if you come across these. Sometimes it can be hours before they come. So yeah, I can appreciate when some people just leave. So yeah, on to the next one.